God's silence is no evidence of his absence. Greetings. Welcome to the Historical Footprints, a platform where we share the stories behind the hymns we now love to sing. Today's hymn is hymn 268 in the Christ in Song hymnals, Master, the Tempest is Raging. Authored in the year 1874 by Mweembela, this is a hymn that strives to raise questions concerning the providence and care that the Lord has for each one of us. If God is a caring God, why does he allow his children to suffer loss? If God is concerned for the welfare of people, why is it that he allows them to be troubled and to be afflicted, to be neglected, to be disappointed on earth? And so, child of God, this is a hymn that is born out of an experience that raises a lot of questions. Is God a caring God? Now, child of God, I want to say, it is normal sometimes to ask God and to doubt him, because this is the nature of humanity. But inasmuch as you are asking questions about the care and love of God, a word of surety is from the book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 28, where Paul says, all things work together for their good. And so, child of God, like the first installment of the hymn Day by Day, I may not know why God is allowing you to go through such an ordeal, but what I can say is, God alone knows where he is taking you. Child of God, hold on, because God alone is in the driving seat of your life. Now, who was Mweembela? Born in the year 1831, she died in the year 1921. During that time, she had experiences both negative and positive. But one thing that stands out is that when she was aged 7, she lost her biological father, Joshua Becker. Now, there was a plague of tuberculosis. Unfortunately, this is the same plague that took the life of her biological father. And so that loss negatively impacted her. And so as she went on doing her daily businesses, she had a troubled heart. And so from her childhood, she began to ask questions. Does God really care for me? And so you will discover that, beloved of God, it was out of the experience that a hymn was born. Again, this speaks volumes to us that sometimes we need to appreciate God for the negative experiences that we encounter in this life, because out of negativity, God can work his mercies and graces towards a life that will be lived and dealt with positively. Let me say, out of a negative experience, God has a way of steering events so that what comes out is a positive message that will impact somebody in a positive way. Mweembela was a Baptist, and it was during her Baptist years that she authored Sunday school lessons for the children. Now, one thing that stood out the most was a story that she loved. That story is found in Mark chapter 4, where we find Jesus and the disciples are crossing over to the other side. Now, one thing that is interesting is that the disciples are asking a question. Master, the tempest is raging. Do you care that we are perishing? The reason why they are asking this question is that God seems to be in a position of comfortability. He is sleeping. As a matter of fact, other Bible versions say he was sleeping on a cushion. And so they are asking a question because God is silent on them. And so Mary Ann Baker is writing this hymn with an experience of her own, but she's connecting her experience with the experience of the disciples. She lost her mother due to tuberculosis. She lost her father, and again, as years went by, she lost her biological brother to the same disease, tuberculosis. And so she's asking a question, Master, why are you silent on me? Were problems created for me? Am I the only person subjected to suffer in this life? This is what Mary Ann Baker is asking. And so, child of God, let me just bring out 2 or 3 concepts, then we close the historical footprints for today. Now, let me say this. It is normal to ask God why certain things are happening in your life. In the first verse, Mary Ann Baker says, Master, the tempest is raging. Don't you care that we are perishing? Sometimes it is just normal to ask God. Sometimes, child of God, it is normal to doubt the Lord. But keep this in mind. The God who was yesterday is the God today, and He is the same God that will be there forevermore. And so, child of God, the guarantee is that God does not change, and God is not a man that He should lie. And so, child of God, as you are asking questions, keep this in mind. Now, the second thing that is interesting is the second verse, where Mary Baker says, Master, with anguish of sorrow, I bow before you today. Child of God, you may look for solutions on earth, but let me tell you something. A solution outside of Jesus does not guarantee peace and safety. Nothing guarantees peace and safety outside the care and the knowledge of Jesus. It is only Jesus, because the Bible says Jesus, He is the Prince of Peace. And so, child of God, my encouragement to you is, when people whom you loved so much, when people who you call your close friends, when those who are close to you disappoint you, neglect you, backbite against you, child of God, if you do not handle that terror or that anguish, that grief, you name it, if you don't handle it with extra caution, child of God, you may end up pressed. You may end up losing your self-esteem. And so what do you do when you are faced with such a challenge? Well, the thing that you should do is that you need to bow down before God in prayer. Prayer is the key that unlocks heaven's storehouse, where there are treasured a boundless resources of omnipotence. As a matter of fact, Jesus has 1,000 ways to deliver, of which you know nothing about. And so, child of God, my encouragement to you is that when faced with disappointment from your loved ones, the thing that is best for you is prayer, because by going down in prayer, God will lift you up to Him. The third and final thing that Mary Ann Baker says is that one day we are going to reach the blissful shore. Now, before we get to the other side of this world, she says in the chorus, there are forces from men, there are forces from demons, but these forces, whether from within or from without, they will obey my will the moment I say, peace, be still. Oh, child of God, this thing is sweet, because you discover that Mary Ann Baker is saying we are going to cross the shore of sin together with Jesus. We are going to cross the shore of disappointment together with Jesus. The moment you allow Jesus to say, "Peace be still," to the forces that are going on in your life, child of God, you will find your life to be a heaven on earth. Child of God, Mary Ann Baker is saying, I will say peace be still to hardships. I will say peace be still to disappointment. I will say peace be still to all those friends who have neglected me. I will show them the love of Jesus. And this is how I will say peace be still to myself. I will trust in the Lord because Jesus is the same today and will be the same tomorrow and forevermore.